Okay, let's do this thing. Hi, yep, welcome to the channel. This is my first ever video, my first vlog. I've wanted to do this for a long time, and well, here it is. It's Memorial Day weekend 2019, and today actually marks the day that I completed the Harley-Davidson Motorcycle Foundation course. And what a better way to kind of, celebrate than to make my first video. And for my first video, I kind of want to talk about how I did my stage one and my thoughts on the exhaust, because let's face it, the exhaust is probably the biggest part of stage one. I don't know about biggest part, but it's the part that gets, you get to be able to choose the style, the look, the sound, and I think a lot of times we spend more time on that, and then probably almost the same amount of time on a tuner. So I also want to preface that before I got the pipe I'm on now, which is the Vance and Hines Pro Pipe 2-in-1 black. Before I had this pipe, I had the Eliminator 300. So I've been talking about those quite a bit because they kind of shaped how I feel about this pipe and how I feel about the stock exhaust. So let's dive right into it and talk about the Pro Pipe. So one thing that stands out with the Pro Pipe to me, and one thing I keep going back to, is the install, which was kind of crazy to me because when I went to install the header pipes, the exhaust ports, if you lined one header pipe, one little flange, I guess, whatever, if you lined one port up and try to line up the other port, it's going to be off by like half an inch. And I was like, what the hell? There is no way I can also try to spread the bar apart. No, I haven't been to a gym in like 2 years, so no, that's not happening. So yeah, it was pretty difficult to do, and then I wound up calling JP Cycles. That's who I brought it from. Shouts to those guys. Their tech support team really helped me out with the install. But what you got to do is be sure to remove your right side floorboard or foot pegs, whatever you got, and hold the pipe at about like a 30-degree angle with respect to the bike, and then just kind of, you have to apply some pressure to spread it open just a little bit, just enough, but you kind of have to kind of slowly do like that number, and it's pretty wild to me to try to do that while not bending or messing up your exhaust port gaskets, which I highly recommend. Just go ahead and do that. I know a lot of people recycle them. Just do it. It's like $15 for the Harley ones, and they're pretty thick. And just be wary that they are beveled, so be on the lookout for that. After getting that on, you got to worry about the heat shields, which, black is in right now, but if you're like me and a little bit OCD with your how clean your bike is and scratches and whatnot, just go ahead, take a deep breath, and accept that you're going to scratch those heat shields and knock some paint off. It's going to happen. So just try to do it in such a way that will you can easily hide it or obscure it. I do have one little boo-boo on the collector heat shield. That was actually because of the little pipe clamp. But one install tip I will give if you're doing this pipe: leave the heat shields off until you get that header pipe on. Vance and Hines wants you to have the heat shields semi-attached. I don't get that. Just put the header pipe on, then do the heat shields. But yeah, you're gonna scratch it. So that's gonna oh, hey. We're double line, buddy. So after that, it's pretty easy. And if you are considering the pipe, I also mentioned that you're going to need a saddlebag support bracket. I think it's like $18, and it goes between the muffler body support bracket and the frame of the bike, so it gets sandwiched in. And word of the wise, when you put the little grommet in, put that on the bracket first, then install the bracket. Lot better that way, a lot easier. But yeah, it's an extra $35 with the exhaust port gaskets that you have to add on to the price of the pipe. But after that, it's an absolute dream. It's got a lovely potato sound at low RPM, and between, I would say, 22 to 3200 RPMs, it has a nice even rumble. But then after 32 on up, it's just a complete roar. Kind of harkening back to the 300s, what I really like about these pipes is that the drivability of the pipe, it keeps the power bands familiar. My experience with the Eliminator 300s were that it kind of felt gutless at lower RPMs. I mean, that might not be the case for other guys who've installed them, but to me, I felt that the parking lot maneuvers, the slow stuff, was just really weird. It's just no power. And then passing was better, passing power on the highway. So I guess it moved everything at the higher RPMs, which is okay. I'd rather have more down low. So that's that. And then the biggest thing is the sound. The Vance Hines Eliminators sound great, don't get me wrong, but this helmet, the Shoei RFSR, has a tendency to make exhausts loud. I have two other helmets that I compare it to, which are oddly enough completely different helmets, a half helmet and a 3/4. But beside the point, I prefer this helmet because, full face safety, ATGAT, all that, and I got a Cardo on it. So that's nice. I think what was going on was the fact that the Eliminators kept that 2 into 2 thing, and the bottom one where it basically exits right in line with the rider, the sound would make my helmet incredibly loud, like ungodly loud. And after about 10 to 15 minutes, I had to wear earplugs. So that was a complete no-go for me. I know you should wear earplugs, but hey, I mean, I don't feel like I don't want to have to be forced into it from a pipe that I wasn't that crazy about. Yeah, it was cheaper. I mean, I could get a chrome Eliminators, not have to get heat shields, and just, go find a tuner. That one cool thing about the Eliminators is you don't have to get a muffler body exhaust, what do you call it? A gasket. Yeah, there's actually a gasket for the muffler bodies on these things, on these new Softails. So if you go with the Eliminator 300s, you do not need an additional gasket, which is kind of neat. But it just wasn't for me. And this Pro pipe, it's so pleasant. I rode from here in North Carolina. I'm in the Raleigh area. Rode from here to Myrtle Beach. Didn't use any sort of earplugs, and it was totally fine. And you know, it's nice to just, you know, twist on the throttle a little bit and be able to hear the that ventilator intake and the exhaust match. It's really nice. So I think if I were to kind of grade it 0 to 100, I'd give it like a 90%, and I'm knocking off because of the weird install issues and having to scratch it and all that. But it's a perfect pipe. If you're on the fence about it, just go ahead and do it, because you're probably going to be not as satisfied with anything else. So there are other two and the twos out there. I don't think there's really much difference between them. Just, you know, get whichever one brand you like. So anywho, that's my thoughts on it. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'm open to any comments, questions, concerns. I'm here, and then I'm also on Instagram. I'm Harley Heritage Classic. I'm on there quite a bit, so be sure to follow me there. And also, yeah, give me a subscribe. I'd love to have some support. And kind of go easy on me, guys. This is my first video. And once this light turns green, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. It is hotter now. It is hot today. A 2019 Heritage Classic with the 114. And you can currently see I don't have a windshield because it is 95 degrees, which I know somebody's probably going to say, oh, it's probably hotter over here, but you know, you are there and I am here, and if you were here, you would say, yes, it is hot. And as every North Carolinian will probably tell you, it is not the heat, it is the humidity. So, anywho.